What's up, guys? Welcome to today's live play. We're playing again sit and go, so it's the second part. And we jump right into the action. We have different formats, different buy-ins today. $15, $30, $300, $7 I think as well. I'm registered. No, just $15 to $300. Yeah, and let's see how it goes. And we're just gonna shove the ace king out here. I think here his sizing half pot is quite strong, so of course we're gonna bet big. Yeah, I'm just gonna fold. I think against 1/3 I would call, but against half pot with a 5 high flush draw and a dirty overcard, that means our overcard is probably not even live. Yeah, here I would call a lot of turn bets, but not such a big bet. And this is very close. Usually people rejam, but here in sit and goes we have a risk premium in play, and he also raises close to 3x, which I think is already a sign of strength. Here queen jack off against cutoff open, we can do both. We can call, we can 3-bet. I think rejamming would be a little bit too much. We have here in the blinds two really good regulars, and I want to mix in some traps, so I'm just going to call kings, yeah, and he insta reshoves. So I expect him to shove all pairs. Of course, sometimes we're going to give them free outs, or let's say free equity if they can just call and see a flop, and sometimes they will outflop us, but he will also rejam pretty much any pair if we start trapping those hands. And yeah, it worked out very well. I'm not sure if he would have called sevens if we would have rejammed. Might have been close. I think sevens might be calling, eights would be calling for sure, sixes would probably start folding. I'm gonna split ace against ace king here. Ace queen suited, we're mostly going to have a very profitable rejam. Ace 7 off here, I'm just going to reshove for 9 big blinds. We're really good far ahead against this button cutoff range, and there are already 150 chips in the middle, which is almost as much as or half of our stack. And if we have some fold equity, then I'm going to limp the aces here. And here this guy is very, very loose. So I think he will be rejamming against this guy quite wide. Yeah, and he has the king jack off. We're going to start with a bet. I actually don't mind checking back here sometimes. But we should check back a hand like king 5 suited if we have that hand. We're going to limp here. And 5-3, 4-3 suited with a protected pot, we're gonna call and take a flop. And I just have to make sure that we are gonna register for more tables. And the ace-3 suited I'm going to call here. It's kind of close. I probably would fold ace-2 suited. Wow. What a river. But yeah, I know also him here with 8-9 big blinds, he's sometimes trapping with aces and kings, and we're performing quite well against all his broadways and suited connectors he's jamming there. And also, if we win, we we have around 1k chips, and it puts us in a much better situation for the bubble. Gonna raise for the king deuce suited, and jack 9 suited will just be an open shove. This guy opens now quite a lot. Let's see. Okay, he's definitely using that 2.5x sizing also with his weaker hands, so that's always important to know. Our risk premium, so our ICM pressure against him is relatively high here in that situation four-handed, so we should be very careful playing against him. King Jack off, some very easy ISO shove here against his button range. He should be shoving close to any 2 against us. Yeah, if I get back to over 10 big blinds, I would definitely start reshoving a ton of hands against his opens. Unfortunately, we don't have that much fold equity anymore. Seems like he's just raising everything. But unfortunately right now, if we jam on him, we don't have any fold equity. King deuce with an easy shove and ace 8 off, we're going to reshove. Pocket fours, I'm just gonna shove. Oh, it's interesting that he raises this hand. And hopefully we're gonna get first in. And he has a very easy call. 3 deuce off, I think it's a close call. But I actually don't mind keeping him alive. But I think it's too profitable. Yeah. I think we just have to call any 2 here. Yeah, and we call, of course. And the king 3 suited here being so short, we have an easy shove. Here we shove close to any 2. And that's really interesting. I don't think I have that much fold equity, to be honest. Here, I'm just gonna fold. Yeah, I'm gonna call the river. Yeah, it's just very unlucky. Queen 6 suited. We have an easy shove. It would be just so horrible if he starts randomly bluffing. And yeah, he bluffs with 5x and he has a queen. So we have to pay him out here. Yeah, we got at least second. And we win the all-in with a Jack's easy call. Here I'm gonna raise fold the king 5 suited. Big blind is a recreational. He already limped. Oops, sorry. I'm gonna start with a small bet. Usually it would also be a profitable shove. But I think people aren't that aggressive here. Very easy call. And we also call the turn here, of course. And here we easy jam. I'm gonna reshove the ace 6 suited. Very good price. I'm gonna call again. And now we just have an easy shove here. Especially since they're, I mean, I don't know the small blind, but in case if they're recreational players, the collision, here I'm gonna limp. Did he have pocket nines? Yeah, I don't mind his second barrel against 7x. And now I'm gonna ISO shove. Oh, wow. How did we hit our 6 there? This guy is a big recreational player, so I'm gonna complete 9-6 off here, the loser. Clear any 2 shove here in this spot. So even 3 deuce off suited, we have to go in. Also the king 5 off. I'm actually gonna raise. So if small blind jams, I can still fold because I think his range is going to be extremely strong. And pocket 3s, we're going to ISO raise. Yeah, and of course we have to call it off. Wow, he gets it in with Jack 7. I think, let's see, yeah, that's too loose for 4 big blinds there. Easy shove with the 4-5 suited and easy call with the pocket eights. And I'm just gonna shove here, pocket eights. I'm gonna second barrel the turn here. I think he has a lot of queen high floats, king high floats. Even the 4 connects with his 5-3s and stuff. Yeah, I think now I'm just gonna give up here, of course. Usually I would be shoving extremely wide here in these spots. I'm even going to shove 7 deuce off here. 10-8 off is a very, very standard shove here. That's rather close, but I think, yeah, this guy seems to call a little looser actually. He's just, if he calls with Jack 7 off for 4-5 big blinds, gonna be a little bit more careful. And we are in an insanely good position. We're gonna get a lot of walks, we're gonna get a lot of first in spots. So in these spots when I'm not really sure whether it's a profit spot because there's one guy just too loose, it's totally okay to let one of these spots go. Just keep taking these profitable any 2 spots here. I'm gonna call the 10-8 suited. Gonna check back and go for the late turn bet. This is a very profitable shove here. Here I think we have to fold. His calling range should be 9s plus. I'm going to bet the turn here at the river. We make him fold better spade draws. What did he call with? That's very sick. You have a very easy call with ace 8. Oh, I would have folded anyway. Here just call. Yeah, it would definitely be nice to have a comeback here, because this guy seems to be... I mean, we're even value betting with 10 high there. So... oh, easy call on the turn, and we also call the river. Actually, this might be an ISO shove. I'm gonna jam the river. I think if he has a 4 or 5, he's calling anyway. And we take this one down. And Jack 9 off for 7 big blinds. I'm just gonna shove. Pretty standard call with his king high. And we've managed to bink the jack. Against this button with queen 10 suited, I'm gonna reshove. Okay, if he open shoves, very easy fold. And we also managed to win this one. And as you can see, incident goes a lot of up and downs, a lot of all-ins. King 4 off for 5 big blinds. I would have just called this all in. If he limps, I'm just gonna shove. If he traps, then so it be. But I think there's more often crap like 6-5 off suited where he doesn't know whether to jam. King 4 off, very easy shove here. And pocket 5s, we're gonna ISO shove against him, and otherwise we have a very, very nice first in spot here. And these days you have to be careful tagging limpers as recreationalists right away, because more and more recs also started limping, but it's still very likely that it's probably a recreational player. And I actually have to say the games are actually pretty soft. Of course the rake got higher, the rake back got lower, but yeah, I think the games got a little softer. I'm not in the position to judge whether the games got better or not, because saying that on the one side the games got softer, and the rake got worse. I don't want to open this debate. I think it's still a good format to build a bankroll, to try to grind your way up. Pocket 4s against hijack. I'm just going to reshove against an unknown. Actually, when he calls, I think I would overcall because he's probably shoving close to any 2. I'm just going to reshove 4s from the small blind. Still going to open shove queen 10 off. It would be the bottom here. We also just have 4 big blinds. Give us the club. Just very unlucky. Wow, we made a straight flush. Yeah, unfortunately, we're not running so hot in the higher buy-ins. Especially when you play multiple buy-ins. Multiple or wide range of buy-ins. I'm gonna 3-bet here. Seven six off is 6-7 off is going to be a very standard first in shove. We're gonna c-bet here on ace 10-6. We have to be careful. He has a lot of broadways. Even though I turned the gut shot, I'm not gonna go super crazy here. No, we can value bet the river. Yeah, we have to be very careful. Wow, it's blind level 1530 and we are in the bubble. Yeah, and you shouldn't be too scared to value bet here. I mean, you get even the call from king jack off. That's really bad, I think. Easy first in shove here. Let's see how he plays his chip here. I might go for a limp re-raise with queen 4 off. I'm gonna call once. And probably going to fold the turn. Against the sizing, we have to call again. I mean, he could even value bet 4-5 or 4-6. Yeah, I mean, even against, if we know he has jack 7, we kind of still have to call. Because we get the right price to draw to our 5 outs. I'm going to shove here the pocket 3s. I think he would be trapping a decent amount of the time, but yeah, we still have to shove these hands. I'm just going to fold. I think here now the board is a little more dangerous. There are 2 players involved. Getting crushed again. Give us... Oh. Yeah, now I'm going to fold. The guy just has 5 big blinds. What happened here? Oh, we wanted this one. So hopefully they're gonna get all in against each other. And we're gonna reshove. King 7 suited would be fold. I would probably reshove hands like King Jack suited. He's still opening all the broadways and some ace highs. Here, King 7 suited on the left side would be calling with around like King 9 suited, King 8 suited better. Okay. We're just gonna fold. Against a recreational player, I wouldn't be shoving these hands. I would rather shove king 3 off, because they often limp hands like 7-5 suited and 9-6 suited, and they don't really know what to do with it. And then you end up getting it in against, you know, a hand like 6-7 suited dominated. So even if you get it in with king 3 off and he calls you with suited connectors, you're at least flipping. I'm definitely calling the turn as well. River is interesting. Wow. Wow. He snap checks the turn. Yeah, easy call here. So his overbetting range seems to be very pair heavy on draw heavy boards. So this is something to keep in mind, maybe for later spots. I'm just gonna raise call this hand. I'm playing very exploitative. I raise my strong hands. I'm not gonna do this GTO bullshit against fun players. So actually, if he's overbetting with the stronger hands and fast playing, what is he really having on these boards? So I'm gonna go for a small raise, and I'm probably also gonna bet a lot of turns. I think he will have a lot of king highs and ace highs and random stuff. I'm gonna second priority the turn as well here. And if the club breaks, I'm probably gonna shove the river to make him forward all the ace high and king high clubs. This is actually very interesting here. I'm the same here. Gonna raise call. Gonna limp. And well, I'm gonna check call here. Of course, this is a very, very nice board. And I'm gonna bet small the river, get some value from size 6x or 4x. And of course we also call a raise. It's just the way the range we're coming to the river with is just, we're not having so many flushes or boats. So if you have a straight, yeah, and we even got value from a 4. I think he shouldn't be calling with a 4. This is something I see people doing wrong very often. He has a bunch of 6-8, some rivered queens, and I think when he calls these, he's totally fine. I'm just gonna forward the king 7 off. Also, I mean, I approach this spot from a more exploitative standpoint, and if, of course, against me, I might find enough bluffs. But even for me, it's hard to find enough bluffs to play check call, check check, and then bluff the river. It's just a few 8-9 and 10-9 combos, right? Of course, I can have some bluffs, but my 8-5s got there, which I play like this. I might play my 9-8s and 10-9s like this, but I have my traps as an overpair. If I trap, I will also check the flop. I will trap some 7x hands. I will have some queen jacks, queen 10s I'm check calling the flop with. So usually against a good player, this is a fold because he should be shoving ace jack suited ace queen plus. But against a fun player or a player I don't know, I'm calling because they make these rejumps which are really, really bad against my under the gun range. And he's even lucky to have a flip against my ace queen. Here I'm jamming close to any 2 in these spots. He's even 10 calling king 8. King 8 is a snap call. This is extremely profitable. I would be even shoving 3 deuce off, and it's very often where people shy away, making very loose jams. Yeah, he should be snap calling any king in this spot. Or at least king 4 off, king 3 off should be snap calling, and then king deuce off is close. Oh, I hope that's good that he ISO raises. Oh, I don't mind that. Maybe having a little comeback here. Maybe we're gonna play a little foil ring as well. I just see there's a $15 foil ring sitting go. A hyper turbo about to start. So let's see if we get this to run. And it seems we have a little comeback here. I'm gonna shove the queen 7 off. Performs quite well against an 82 big blind calling range. And yeah, it's gonna be tougher for them to actually find a better hand than I have. And for my position situation, it's not that bad. Oh, he finds kings. We might win the side pot against him and we're still in. Nope. And we have another bubble situation over here. Am I actually quite close if he jams any two? There are some future game benefits because if we win, we're going to be the chip leader and we can shove any two in the blinds, and I think he might be on any two. And Queen 10 suited against an A2 range performs quite good. So yeah, if he jams King 6 off, he will be certainly jamming 10-4 suited. He will be jamming 10-7 off any suited queen. All the suited connectors. So yeah, I'm going to mark this hand because I'm still going to look it up to make sure if that was a good call or not. Okay, he's been 3-betting, so he's probably a recreational player. So, and even if I would know it's a slightly minus EV call, I would still make the call because we're going to take advantage of being the chip leader so heavily, and we can just run over the table. Yeah, I'm gonna call here and probably also call the river. I mean, he could even min 3-bet King Jack, King 9 suited and just now fast play it. And I'm gonna jam the river, I think. I mean, he could have Ace Queen, of course, but I think better hands would often. I mean, I'm a little bit afraid of King Jack. That might be pot controlling, but after his min 3-bet and like he can have picked up whatever. Can have King 4 suited he's afraid of and checking back. This is something I'm trying to explain over and over again, that you need to take into consideration that the randomness, a $500 6 mix didn't go. The randomness in hyper turbo swing was extremely high. People just play them quick for fun. They want to gamble a little bit. So you shouldn't make that crazy folds. King Queen suited here with all the dead money. I'm just going to reshove. Unless he reshoves. Okay, that's sick. Of course, that's a really bad overcall. So he just seems to be a big fun player. That's what I mean. King Queen off if he opens. I'm just going to reshove. And I'm probably just going to open shove King Queen off. I will make the small blind fold hands like pocket deuces, pocket threes against an open shove, or ace deuce suited, or ace 7 off. Maybe ace 7 off he's calling, but like ace 4, ace 5 off. Yeah, I'm gonna raise fold this hand, and here we're just gonna reshove. Too big is a good friend of mine. I'm gonna see a bit small, make him fold some hands like King 6 off. That's actually closer against the 2.5x, but I think it's still fine. I'm gonna limp shove here. I think I'm going to check back. I don't want to... I mean, if we bet and he jams, we have to call. So that would really suck. That worked out really well. Oops. I was running out of time. Say heart. Yeah. I fucked it up on the turn. I unfortunately didn't have enough time. Usually I would have bet bigger. I think that's really weird. That's actually really weird. 10-9, King 10, 8-9. There are a bunch of draws. 3-4 offsuited. What is happening with people? How is he calling the flop with 4-3 off? And I'm even paying him out. Yeah, easy call with the 5s. Yeah, his entire line just didn't make that much sense. If I would have expected he hits, I mean, of course his plan was to turn it into a bluff because he blocks 6-4, which I'm never betting on the flop, or very rarely. So yeah, we got owned here. We definitely got owned here. And you can see the games as, I mean, it's a $100 sit and go. And you have people calling you with 4 high on a queen jack board. But that's good. And it's also important, and this should your mindset be, that it's important that they also win from time to time. And sometimes they win more often than you actually, you want them to win. Easy raise call with the ace king off here. I'm going to check back the flop. I mean, if we bet and he jams, we probably have to call. He can have odd flush draws. Against the queen, we have 2 overs and a gut shot. But I think it's either ways. We can bet or check. If he bets the turn, I'm going to call and turn my hand in a spade and a bluff. I'm going to bet big here on the flop. Wow, this is a wow, what happened here? And we have an easy call here. And we're gonna bet the river for value, of course. If he jams, I'm pretty much top of my range. I'm probably not gonna fold. And I know he's capable of making some plays. King 9 suited for roughly 50 big blinds, blind versus blind. We can jam against this limp. We can 10-9 off. I'm going to limp. King 6 off is actually quite close. Blinds are going up in... Actually, I would like to play against this guy more post flop, so I'm gonna raise in 4 hands, so we are getting through the blinds. Here I'm betting small. I want him to call whatever he has, and then I'm gonna call. We can rejam or call, and I'm calling any river bet from him. 8-7 off. Okay. Yeah, of course, this is the downside of raising these hands, because sometimes, you know. And we're in the money in the full ring. Oh, it happened here, massive all in. And queen jack off, we have an easy call. Nine six suited. I would try a limp. Definitely not going to open shove. I think this guy is very crazy. I think he's messing around. I will go for a limp shove actually. I will go for a limp shove. And regain the chip lead. the only antidote against aggressive players is either play tight or play overly aggressive. This in between of, you know, sometimes 3-betting and sometimes raising, you have to play for your tournament life. I don't think we have that much fold equity. The question is it enough? And we're so short suited ace. I'm just going to reshove here. Yeah. We actually want to get it in against a hand like 7-9 off. I mean, we're performing quite good. 4-5 suit is a very standard jam. And he was even tanking. So if you have a little bit of fold equity in those spots, it's just so massively printing. Last time, remember guys, in the last video, there was one guy raise folding against a 4 big blind rejam. This is probably not, this is a minus EV jam, but I leave myself the option to become the chip lead. If I now fold, it's over. This is one of the key hands I'm still calling here. Wow. Very easy. Any 2 jam. That is not a good call by him. With ace 3 suited, regardless of me jamming. Let's say Nash is jack 8 off, jack 9 off. Yeah, it's a close call. It's a close call. Queen 10 off, pretty standard call, jam. The overcall, it's definitely close, but as you've seen, I don't know this guy. People overcall ace 10 suited and ace jack off, and I don't think we can fold here. I would fold ace queen off, but I would certainly call ace queen suited here. I mean, this guy just has 6 big blinds, and I'm opening from the cutoff, so he can be like ace 10 suited, whatever, and get it in. I'm going to check call the flop here once. And yep, let's play a turn. I'm going to shove the river. It's one of these spots, you either have a 6 or I don't. And yeah, we should have more 6-6 than he has. Yeah, okay. Now he has the 6, so pretty standard. I'm going to defend the queen 4 suited here. I think the only sizing, I mean, we can do some block betting with 3x against king highs, but going to 3-bet call the queens. We could also call and get an induce, but I think 3-bet is also fine. I would sometimes mix in even some calls with queens here. What is happening with this guy here? Yeah, this guy is crazy. I definitely expect him also to have some bet folds. I'm just gonna check shove here. Oh, that's a really, really bad turn. And now I have the read. We're gonna play more tournaments against each other, so next time I know his overbets are strong. I'm going to start betting here on the turn. And we want to start polarizing ourselves towards either 9 or a bunch of a bunch of draws. We could also be shoving. I think he's very often having a jack. And we have a bunch of queen 10 with queen and clubs, 10-8 with, they have so many bluffs in this spot. I'm gonna raise small the 6-5 off against the fun player, or against an unknown. I don't know yet if he's a fun player. I'm gonna check back the flop and try to show down my hand. If you would have bet the river, I would have folded. So I'm gonna finish those 3 tables and then I'm gonna wrap it up for today. We're not gonna open 6-3 off. It's definitely an interesting session today. Some really funny hands happened. And I think it should also be a sign for you that there's still enough crazy stuff happening. And if you play solid, you don't need to do fancy stuff. You can win a lot of money in poker. So far no action, but as you can see you have probably at least 2 recreational players on each table. King queen cracks ace, kings and aces. Hyper-turbo sitting goals are also good practice for your mindset. I mean, you can see you give a lot of suckouts. You have to suffer a lot of suckouts. I think I'm going to reshove the king 8 suited here. It's a great hand. Of course, it looks also spewy, but you don't need that much forward equity to make it a profitable play. And if he has ace queen, ace jack, pocket 10s, pocket 9s, the suited kings at least, you know, have an overcard, flush draw. Yeah, I'm not against this cutoff jam. I would probably be calling with ace 7 off, ace 6 suited and better. I'm gonna raise call this hand, of course. And this is a flop where we want to see bet big, and easy call here with the ace queen, easy jam with the king 10 off. And we're drawing dead on the turn. I would also, my bluffs in these spots would be something like, if I would have opened, yeah, we have to call here. Wow, he's open jamming kings. I mean, if he always open jamming kings, I already have the read on him that he min-raise folds a lot. Definitely a read I can take advantage of. I don't think it's good, especially with me being in the big blind. I mean, he's shoving pretty much any ace in this spot. all the broadways, so we have to call here. I would be calling ace-10 off, ace-9 suited. Just very unlucky running into the top of his range. And he's also, as a chip leader, he's jamming into us in the second chip lead. Why is 3-player not working? Okay, for some mysterious reason, the replayer is not working. Yeah, if he jams, we probably have to call 4.5, 5 big blinds. He is jamming 10-3 suited, and he was just jamming 7-5 suited. And we just need to hold. And we're also going to open jam the king 10 off here. Yeah, I think he's jamming close to 100% here from the button. We can't be jamming 3-2. This guy seems also to be quite active. Very easy shove with the jack 10 off here. And unfortunately we run into the top hand again. But that's just part of the game. And this can definitely cost your EV a lot. Of course, if you constantly run into these situations. And we hope that he wins. With Andes, without Andes, it would definitely be a fold. Easy shove with the king 7 off here. King 6 off is going to be a very easy call. Kings, we're gonna limp. Yeah, pretty standard jam from him. Jack 4, I'm going to check raise the flop and going to jam the turn. Let's say if he has an ace, then so it be. But our hand needs protection. Oh, that's an interesting flop. And GG, 100%. Alright guys, before we wrap up today's session, I would like to analyze two hands real quick from today's session. The first one, remember the queen 10 suited call. I wasn't really sure if it's a call or not. I thought it's a call. I put in the numbers in HRC, and as you can see, if he jams 65%, which is the Nash range, then we have a call with queen, we don't have a call with queen 10 suited. You can see it's minus 0.8. This is definitely too minus of V. If I would have queen jack suited, I would have called regardless, because I think we can, yeah, we can make up the EV that we have lost in that very hand. Anyhow, I think that he might jam a little looser, and even those suited hands and queen eye hands, it's not going to make it significantly better, just a little bit. I mean, these kind of situations will happen, and you will make wrong calls, and it's important to, when you're not sure, to also look those spots up, and not only look at this one very spot. Also look at which king high hands would you be calling with, which ace high hands, which pocket pairs. So you really try to visualize what is the calling range in this spot. And as you've seen, it would be something around 5s and better. I would be calling ace-7 off and better. I would be calling ace-4 suited better. King-9 suited. I would be calling queen-jack suited. And king-10 off and better. Because we can take those tiny minus EV spots here. Because if we win the pot, we are going to be the chip lead. And we're going to have a lot of first-in spots. And where we can just rip 100% of hands into him. Let's take a look at the second hand, which was this hand. Jack-7 off. And I open jammed this hand. And I still like this hand for a strategical reason, that if we give him a walk, he will be pretty much the chip leader of the bubble. If we take, I'm pretty sure that's not an ash jam, and I told you that in game. However, this bubble will probably last 5 to 10 hands on average, and maybe even 15 hands. And we want to put ourselves in a very good position to become chip leader and now take a little risk. Because taking that risk here, it's definitely worth winning these chips and not handing those chips over to him. So let me just copy the... Okay, anyway, then I do it manually. So we have 900, 800, 1K. We don't need to make it 100% perfect. So button has around 950, and we have 850, and small blind, a big blind has 1030. Blinds are 4080. NT is 8, it's 24. Payout structure is 65-35. And then let's see. Or actually, it's a close jam. It is an ash jam, so yeah, I actually would have thought it's Jack-8 off and better, and then we've Jack-7 off, but you can see it's pretty close to break even. So yeah, and Jack-6 off. So actually, it's a good jam anyway. I would have thought the ranges are a little tighter here, to be honest. He called with ace-3 suited, right? Yeah. So yeah, good call by him. I also thought at first that this might be a little loose. But yeah, given the fast pace of the structure and us jamming so wide, I really thought that our range is more something like this. So not Jack-7 off. Yeah, probably something like this. And then, yeah, ace-3 suited is still a call. So it's always very important to study those very marginal spots. I mean, I lately focused, of course, more on tournaments and short stack tournament and final table ICM situations. So I'm not playing 6-max hyper token synchros regularly, but even if you play them regularly every single day, you will make wrong calls, wrong pushes. And I also want to show you guys here, it's totally okay to show your mistakes, and there is no such thing as playing perfect, especially when it comes to short stack pushing and calling situations. And the more you reveal yourself, the more you're going to be honest with your own game, the more you will learn it from it. And this is something that helped me throughout my entire career, to be totally okay with spots I don't play perfect, to try to work on that and make it better next time. If these two spots will happen next time, first of all, I will be certain that Jack-7 off is a proper Menage jam regardless, and I should be even shoving Jack-6 off. And secondly, that I should probably make the fold with Queen-10 suited in this spot. Anyway, I think it was a very, very interesting session. I hope you guys learned a ton, and then see you guys next time.